What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to From the Crypt. I am Derek, and today we are still talking about Chucky, Child's Play franchise. Is it Child's Play franchise or is it Chucky franchise? What do you guys know it as? Comment it down below. For me, it's Child's Play. But, more in particular, I am talking about Seed of Chucky, directed by Don Mancini. Now, this movie was released back in 2005. So, I'm talking spoilers. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody, especially with this riveting tale of murderer dolls, so... Okay, you had your warning. Super quick plot synopsis. Chucky and Tiffany's offspring revives them, and they try to be a family. So, who is in Seed of Chucky? Okay, we have Jennifer Tilly as Jennifer Tilly and Tiffany. Redman as Redman. Brad Dourif as Chucky, and Billy Boyd as Glenn/Glenda. Okay, what's good about Seed of Chucky? I thought that the Tony Gardner fake head, when they decapitate him in the movie, looked really good, actually. I was kind of impressed with how it looked. Okay, what's bad about Seed of Chucky? Don't worry, I am going to hammer this one home, because this movie is something else. Let's start off with, I don't know, the fucking horrendous CG in the beginning that is showing the swimmers going. Awful. Absolutely freaking awful CG for 2005. Now, this movie is in the style kind of like New Nightmare. They are making a Chucky movie that has Jennifer Tilly in it. The only difference is New Nightmare literally did everything better in every way than this movie. The opening scene was horrible, which this tells you how bad it is. I watched this like literally 2 days ago before recording this review. I can't even remember the opening scene. It is so bad. It was the dream that the doll had. Never mind. Unfortunately, it came back to me. Next up, Sykes and Shitface? Really? Really? Stupid. I hate Glenn. I'm just, Glenda, whatever. The teeth. I know at the end of Bride, you know, the baby had the little fang. I hated it. I hate the look of this character. Billy Boyd is very talented, but I feel his talent was wasted in this just piece of trash. Another thing that has literally always bothered me with this movie was when they're doing like an Entertainment Weekly, like behind the scenes thing, they revealed that the name of the movie they're filming is called Chucky Goes Psycho. That's all you could come up with? Like, oh, man, just lazy and awful. There's at one point, Jennifer Tilly is kind of going on a pity party about like Julia Roberts and stuff like that. And yeah, that was very annoying. Not even going to sugarcoat that. One thing that I think I know the answer to from Doc of Chucky. Why would Redman be directing a movie about Jesus? Like, don't get me wrong, Redman's awesome. I mean, How High is hilarious. That's all I could really think that he's been in. But How High is seriously hilarious. I love that movie. Redman should not have been in this movie. I know they were kind of wanting Quentin Tarantino for it, but I'm going to go ahead and say Tarantino had enough common sense to be like, I'm staying away from this dumpster fire. Okay, and just like Bride, this added something that wasn't in the original movies that you're meant to believe has been in there the whole time. And that's the fact that Glenn has a birthmark that says Made in Japan on his wrist. Okay, my only effing question is, the doll was made in Chicago. At least in 2, and then we can assume in 3. Because it was the same doll from 3. He was not made in Japan. So why would that even be a thing? Absolutely lazy and almost insulting if you think about it, because they expect us to go along with it like, oh, okay, all right. Heart of Damballa, I give a little more credit. The Made in Japan thing, stupid. Absolutely dumb. Okay. Anytime the dolls had to run in the movie, it was just looked like shit. It looked like Sykes and shit face. All right, let me just say that. Explain it to me. How's the doll piss his pants when he doesn't even have a hole for pee to come out of? Not funny. I thought the dolls looked terrible. Doll tits? Really? Really? At least the way they did it in Bride of Chucky, it was implied, but you didn't actually see it. No, this full-on Tiffany just, hey, all right, there you go. Because Chucky's got to jerk off to Fangoria magazine. Yeah, not joking on that one. I thought the Britney Spears joke was just lazy writing. Because, oops, I did it again. Okay, this is just an actual question. Why was Redman's guts steaming after Tiffany guts him? Because I would understand it if he was like on Hoth and they cut him open and the steam coming off. But your internal temperature isn't that much different. Like, it's not going to be different enough to make steam come out if you're in, like, let's say a 70-degree room. So I thought that was dumb. Every single time the dolls walked up behind people, it just looked awful. You could tell there was, like, green screen or something done with it. And it just, so bad. Joanne's death, the assistant, you could tell that's a fake body hitting the ground. And it's just laughably bad. Okay, this isn't even negatives or anything. This is just, I guess, my own personal negative thoughts. We'll just take it for what it is. This movie had no right being released in theaters, especially considering what comes after it. This movie is just a train wreck. I will go ahead and say I do like 3 of the 4 entries that we've already talked about, with this being number 5. I really like 3 of them. And so I am a fan of Don Mancini. And I even said when I watched the doc of Chucky that, like, I want to meet him. He just seems like a really cool guy and everything. So I do kind of feel bad for just tearing this movie apart. But I'm going to be honest. And I feel like Don was given free reign in this movie to do whatever he wanted. And sometimes people need those guardrails to keep us in line and keep us awesome. One example I'll use is Mark Wahlberg. In some movies, The Happening, Mark Wahlberg is god-awful. Like, not just calling it like it is. But then in other movies, like, I don't know, Perfect Storm or, oh, God, I can't even think of any. What was that? Anyways, just one example. You keep the guardrails in, awesome actor. You give him free reign, you're not going to get what you're expecting. And so that's the best way I can sum up how I think this movie just literally went off of the rails. Because I get they wanted to do something new and different with a possible franchise reimagining or just rebooting the franchise in a sense, like a soft boot. But going like hardcore comedy when the comedy is not funny is just, no, it's not going to work. Lastly, in my Child's Play 3 review, I talked about how Seed of Chucky has a 37% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going to list off movies from major horror franchises that apparently critics think this movie is better than. Okay, it has a better rating than Child's Play 3, as I already mentioned. Nightmare on Elm Street Remake, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Freddy's Dead, Friday the 13th Remake, Jason X, Jason Goes to Hell, Friday the 13th Part 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, both of Rob Zombie's Halloweens, Halloween Resurrection, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, Halloween 2, 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Beginning, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, 2013's Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Next Generation, Hellraiser Judgment, Hellraiser Bloodline, Hellraiser Inferno, Hellraiser Deader, Hellraiser Hellworld, Hellraiser Hellseeker, and Hellraiser Revelations. Now, I am not saying that this, like, because there are a couple movies in there, looking at you, Hellraiser Hellworld and Revelations. This movie is not better than. But Come on. Halloween 5, Halloween 6, and it's even on par. It has the same score as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot from 2003 with Jessica Biel, that many consider to be the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, myself included. No, this movie is just fucking hell no. Anyways, rewatch by review. Would I rewatch this? No. There is a reason this is actually the second time I have seen this movie. And I will not watch it again. Did I buy this movie, or would I buy it? It came in a pack, so at least I got some good movies along with it. What score am I going to give it? This is like the second 0 out of 10 I've given. I think the other one was Spirit Halloween during my 2B Halloween series. But honestly, I debated on giving this a negative number system because I hate this movie. This movie is just a slap in the face to franchise horror movies. And I take no pleasure in saying that I hate this movie, but it seriously, without a doubt, is one of the worst horror sequels of any major horror franchise ever. Put it up right there. There we go. I really don't like shitting on this movie, but I hate it. Anyways, that'll do it for Seed of Chucky. So make sure to comment down below. Do you like this dumpster fire? I don't think there's any way, shape, and form I need to be corrected, because normally I'll ask, like, what am I missing? No, this movie's just bad, man. And it sucks to say that, but it is what it is. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed me just royally shitting all over this movie, and consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already, because I swear we do review better movies. When you're doing a franchise review, you're going to get some good ones. There's going to be the right pile of shit in there somewhere, and I just stepped in this one big time. But until next time, have a good one, guys.